Forget everything you think you know about air power. On September 11th, 2025, a date that lives in American memory, a silent shadow cut across the California sky. This wasn't just another test flight. This was the moment the U.S. Air Force officially revealed the true nature of the B-21 Raider. We were told it was a stealth bomber. That was a half-truth. What just flew from Plant 42 to Edwards Air Force Base is a sixth-generation Ghost, a flying quantum computer, and a battlefield quarterback. Its newly revealed capabilities will not just shock you, they make every air defense system on Earth instantly obsolete. The game just changed. Permanently. Let's be blunt. For nearly 2 years, the entire world has been watching a single B-21 Raider, tail number 1, perform basic checks. Since its first flight in November 2023, it's been methodically ticking boxes, flying 1 or 2 sorties a week. It was steady, predictable, and frankly, a little slow. Our adversaries in Beijing and Moscow likely watched, took notes, and told themselves they had time. They were wrong. On September 11, 2025, the second B-21 Raider took to the skies, and with it, the entire program just hit the accelerator. This isn't just about adding one more plane. This is an exponential leap. As Air Force Secretary Troy Mink stated, this is a game changer. Why? Because you can't test a network with one node. You can't test integrated weapons systems and advanced mission protocols with a single aircraft. With 2 Raiders in the air, the testing program has fundamentally shifted. We are moving beyond flight performance and diving headfirst into combat readiness. Think about what this means on the ground at Edwards. Maintainers are now getting hands-on experience with simultaneous operations. Engineers can test different systems on each aircraft at the same time. The learning curve just went vertical. And the Air Force isn't stopping. 3 more B-21s are scheduled to join the flight test campaign imminently. That's 5 flying Raiders. 5 test beds working in concert to validate every revolutionary aspect of this platform, from extreme weather operations to simulated combat scenarios against the most advanced threats we can imagine. General David Alvin, the Air Force Chief of Staff, said it perfectly. This second aircraft accelerates the path to fielding operational Raiders faster. That urgency matters. While we've been developing the B-21, China and Russia have been pouring trillions into advanced, networked air defense systems specifically designed to kill American stealth. The B-21 is our answer, and it's arriving right on time. If you're proud of the sheer audacity of American innovation and what our military is achieving, type "proud" in the comments below. Because what follows is where science fiction becomes brutal military fact. A quantum leap. Redefining invisibility. Let's talk about stealth. We throw that word around a lot. We think of the F-117, the F-22, and the legendary B-2 Spirit. But according to Northrop Grumman, the wizards who built the B-2, the B-21 is not an evolution. It is a quantum leap forward in low observable technology. This isn't marketing hype. This is a fundamental redesign of what it means to be invisible. It's not just smaller, it's smarter first, the basics. The B-21 is a flying wing, just like its predecessor. No vertical stabilizers, no protruding surfaces. But look closer. The B-21 is visibly smaller than the B-2. The B-2 Spirit has a massive 172-foot wingspan. The B-21 is estimated to be closer to 140 to 150 feet. Why does that matter? Every inch of reduction means a smaller radar cross-section, less surface area for enemy radar waves to bounce off, less chance of detection. But the size is the least interesting part. The end of the hangar queen. The real revolution is in the materials. Any B-2 veteran will tell you the plane was a hangar queen. Its radar-absorbent coating was notoriously fragile. It degraded quickly in the elements. It required massive, climate-controlled hangars just to protect its stealth skin. This made it expensive, time-consuming, and a logistical nightmare for rapid deployment. The B-21 solves this. It's built with advanced composite materials and a new generation of stealth coatings that are light years more durable. These new coatings hold up in harsh weather and require significantly less maintenance. This is the unsexy part that wins wars. It means more raiders are ready to fly at any given moment. It means they can be deployed to forward bases without needing a billion-dollar climate-controlled bubble. It means a dramatically higher sortie rate. Taming the Eye of Sauron, infrared stealth, isn't just about radar. Any surface-to-air missile, SAM crew, knows to look for heat. The recent photos from the second B-21's flight confirmed something fascinating. The exhaust system is a masterpiece of thermal suppression. Like the B-2, the engines, which are advanced derivatives of the F-35's proven Pratt & Whitney F-135, are buried deep inside the airframe. The hot exhaust gases are routed through long internal ducts before being expelled through broad, shallow slots on the upper trailing edge of the wing. Here's why that's genius. It completely shields the hottest parts of the engines from any infrared sensors looking up from below. Those heat-seeking missiles? They'll be blind. The 360-degree ghost. Here is the single biggest difference, and the core of the B-21's lethality. The B-2 Spirit was a product of the Cold War. It was optimized for frontal stealth, designed to fly head-on into the Soviet Union's relatively linear air defenses. The B-21 is designed for the modern battle space. Today, sensors are everywhere. They are networked. They are on ships, on planes, on satellites, and on the ground. You can be tracked from the side, from the rear, from above, or from below. The B-21 is designed for all-aspect stealth. It is engineered to be nearly invisible from every conceivable angle. Now, some critics and foreign propaganda will claim, but China's new low-frequency radars can detect stealth aircraft. Let's address that head-on. Detecting and tracking are two completely different things. A low-frequency surveillance radar might get a vague blip that something is out there in a 100-mile-wide box. But to shoot down an aircraft, you need a high-frequency engagement radar that can get a precise weapons-grade target lock. You need to calculate its speed, altitude, and trajectory to guide a missile. The B-21's all-aspect stealth is specifically designed to defeat that engagement lock. It's built to be so slippery that by the time an enemy even knows it's there, its payload is already on the way. The real secret: this is not a bomber. This is where things get truly mind-blowing. The B-21 Raider isn't just a stealth bomber. That's just its cover story. The B-21 is a flying command and control center. It's a sensor node in the sky. It's the quarterback for an entire robotic army. This is the variant that was just revealed. Not a new airframe, but a new brain. This is sixth-generation warfare. Former Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said it back at the unveiling in 2022, and we're only now understanding what he meant. The bomber's sensing, computing, and communications technologies would prove even more impactful than its stealth exterior. What does that actually mean? Picture this. A B-21 Raider penetrates deep into contested airspace over the South China Sea. But it's not flying alone. It is wirelessly tethered to and actively controlling a swarm of unmanned drones, collaborative combat aircraft, flying ahead of it. These drones are acting as its eyes, ears, and shields. They are testing enemy air defenses, gathering intelligence, and identifying targets, transmitting every gigabyte of data back to the B-21 in real time. The B-21's advanced sensors and onboard AI process all that data, fuse it with information from satellites and other joint force assets, and then distribute targeting solutions to F-35s, destroyers offshore, and ground units hundreds of miles away, all while remaining completely invisible. The plug-and-play war machine. This is all made possible by one of the program's most brilliant decisions: open systems architecture. Think about legacy platforms like the B-52 or even the B-2. Every time you want to add a new weapon or sensor, it requires a costly, time-consuming, and proprietary modification from the original manufacturer. The B-21 is designed like a high-end PC. It's plug-and-play. New, more advanced sensor becomes available? Plug it in. New AI-driven targeting algorithm developed? Upload it. New hypersonic weapon invented? Easy integration. This modular design means the B-21 can evolve with the threat environment. It won't become obsolete in 10 or 20 years. It is, in effect, future-proof. The ultimate capability. The unmanned radar. Here is the capability that should and will keep our adversaries awake at night. The B-21 was built from the ground up with the capability to fly unmanned missions. Let that sink in. The Air Force hasn't laid out a specific timeline for this, but the capability is built in. Imagine a high-risk scenario. You have 2 manned B-21s coordinating with 4 unmanned B-21s, multiplying combat power and sensor coverage exponentially without putting a single additional pilot at risk. This is the future of air combat. It's not just a plane, it's a family of systems. And what can this system carry? The B-21's internal weapons bays are designed for next-generation standoff weapons. We're talking the AGM-181 Long-Range Standoff, LRSO missile, our new stealthy nuclear-armed cruise missile. The GBU-72 Advanced 5000 SLAM bunker buster for hitting the most hardened, deeply buried targets. Hypersonic weapons that can strike at speeds exceeding Mach 5. And thanks to that modular bay design, it can carry future weapons that haven't even been invented yet. The strategic checkmate. Why we need this right now? Why spend this much time, effort, and money? Why do we need the B-21? The answer is simple. The Indo-Pacific and the tyranny of distance. China has spent 30 years building a massive anti-access area denial A2AD bubble. They've lined their coast with long-range missiles, advanced radar systems, and fighter jets designed specifically to do one thing: keep American forces out. They want to make it impossible for our carriers and fighters to get anywhere near places like Taiwan or the South China Sea. Our traditional bomber fleet can't handle this. The B-52 has zero stealth. It's a sitting duck against modern defenses. The B-1 Lancer is non-stealthy, and the fleet is worn out from decades of hard use in the Middle East. This leaves the B-2 Spirit. We have just 18 operational B-2s. The transcript from Jet Insight noted that a single 2025 strike mission required 7 B-2s. That's nearly 40% of our entire B-2 fleet for one operation. That is strategically, mathematically, and dangerously unsustainable. The B-21 changes this entire equation. The Air Force is planning a fleet of at least 100 aircraft, with many pushing for 145 to 200. This gives us the numbers to sustain operations across multiple theaters. But here is the real checkmate: the tyranny of distance. The Pacific Theater is enormous. Our forward base at Andersen Air Force Base in Guam is 1,700 nautical miles from Taiwan. That's a one-way trip. Fighters operating from Guam are at the absolute limit of their combat radius, requiring swarms of vulnerable aerial tankers just to reach the fight. Worse, in any conflict, Guam itself becomes a primary target for Chinese long-range missiles. It is not a survivable forward base. The B-21 solves this problem with one number: 6,000 miles. The B-21 Raider has an unrefueled, classified but estimated range of approximately 6,000 nautical miles. This means a B-21 can take off from Ellsworth Air Force Base in South Dakota. It can fly from the safety of the American heartland, strike any target deep inside a contested A2AD bubble on the other side of the world, and return home, all without relying on a single, vulnerable, forward base or tanker. This strategic flexibility is something our adversaries simply cannot match. It breaks their entire A2AD strategy. And what about Russia? Their state media loves to boast about the S-400 and S-500 air defense systems. But as we've already established, those systems are built to find a B-2. They are not built to find an all-aspect, networked, sensor-fused, and electronically shielded ghost like the B-21. The miracle. A defense program that works. At this point, you're probably thinking, this all sounds amazing, but what's the catch? This must be a financial black hole, right? We, as American taxpayers, are scarred. We have PTSD from defense programs. The F-35, plagued with delays and massive cost overruns. Tanker, billions over budget and still not fully operational. The literal combat ship, a program so broken it's being retired before it ever really served. So when the B-21 program started, skeptics, including me, had every reason to doubt it. But the B-21 is different. It is remarkably, basically on time and basically on budget. Let's talk numbers. Each B-21 Raider costs approximately $692 million in 2022 dollars. That is not pocket change. But compare it to the B-2 Spirit, which cost nearly $2 billion per aircraft in the 1990s. The B-21 delivers exponentially better stealth, more advanced technology, and far greater operational flexibility for about a third of the price. How did they do this? 1. Smart management. The program was managed by the Air Force's Rapid Capabilities Office, not the traditional procurement bureaucracy. This streamlined decision-making and cut red tape. 2. Mature technologies. Instead of inventing everything from scratch, they used mature technologies where possible. The engines, as mentioned, are derivatives of the F-35's F-135. They are proven, reliable, and vastly cheaper than developing all new engines. 3. Digital engineering. This is the big one. Before any metal was cut, Northrop Grumman built and flew thousands of B-21s in a virtual environment. They tested systems, identified problems, and made changes digitally. This allowed them to catch issues early when they are cheap and easy to fix, rather than discovering them on the flight line when modifications cost a fortune. This isn't just a win for the Air Force, it's a win for the American taxpayer, and Congress is all in. In April 2025, the DoD allocated an additional $4.5 billion to accelerate B-21 production. The 2026 budget request includes $10.3 billion for the program. This isn't funding to cover overruns. This is funding to build them faster. The road ahead. The future is here. So what happens next? With 2 B-21s flying and 3 more joining the fleet, the testing phase is accelerating at breakneck speed. The focus is now on weapons integration, certifying every munition from conventional bombs to nuclear cruise missiles. Thanks to the digital twin technology, this certification process, which took the B-2 7 years, will be done in a fraction of the time. Infrastructure is already being built at Ellsworth Air Force Base, which will be the first operational home of the Raider. The Air Force expects initial operational capability before 2030. The B-21 Raider is America's commitment to air superiority for the next 50 years. It is a breakthrough in stealth, a revolution in networked warfare, and a model of smart cost controls. September 11, 2025 marked the turning point. The second B-21's flight was the signal that we are shifting from development to operational preparation. Our warfighters will soon have a tool that no adversary can match, a bomber that can go anywhere, strike any target, and return home safely. That's American ingenuity. That's why we maintain the strongest Air Force on the planet. If this analysis opened your eyes to what's really coming, hit that like button and subscribe. We're just getting started, and you won't want to miss what we uncover next.